In May 2025, the European Commission made a decision that could reshape the global AI landscape. Under its Frontier AI Grand Challenge, part of the InvestAI initiative announced earlier that year, Brussels selected the EUROPA Consortium to build something no government body has successfully delivered: a frontier-class large language model, open source, covering all 24 official EU languages, with over 400 billion parameters. The consortium is led by Domin, an Italian AI company, and backed by partners across multiple member states. This isn't a research grant, it's a strategic industrial project, and the timing is anything but accidental. Let's be precise about what's been announced. EUROPA is designed as a 400 billion-plus parameter foundation model, placing it in the same architectural weight class as GPT-4 and its successors. But three features distinguish it. First, it's purpose-built for multilingual European coverage: Estonian, Maltese, Irish, languages that frontier American models handle poorly or not at all. Second, it's open source. Weights, training data documentation, and model cards will be publicly available. Third, it's intended to be hosted on European sovereign cloud infrastructure, meaning the data pipeline doesn't route through US hyperscalers. The European Commission allocated funding through its InvestAI Framework, which President von der Leyen unveiled in early 2025, with a broader commitment of up to €20 billion for AI infrastructure across Europe. Context matters here. In January 2025, the Commission launched InvestAI as a strategic package: compute infrastructure, AI gigafactories, funding instruments, designed to close Europe's growing gap with the United States and China. The Frontier AI Grand Challenge emerged as a specific mechanism within this package, calling for consortia to build foundation models that serve European public interest. Multiple consortia reportedly competed. The selection of EUROPA, led by Domin with academic and industrial partners, signals that Brussels wants a vertically integrated European AI stack, not just regulation, but production capacity. The EU AI Act governs how models are deployed. InvestAI governs whether Europe builds them at all. The timing connects directly to a growing tension. Reports in mid-2025 indicate that OpenAI's latest frontier model, referred to as GPT-5.6, faces significant regulatory throttling in Europe, access limitations driven by EU AI Act compliance requirements and data sovereignty concerns. Anthropic's most advanced models face similar friction. European businesses, researchers, and public sector agencies increasingly find themselves dependent on American AI systems that may be delayed, restricted, or gated behind terms of service that conflict with European data governance norms. EUROPA is, in effect, the EU's insurance policy. If American frontier models become difficult to access in Europe, whether through regulation, geopolitics, or commercial decisions, European builders need an alternative that doesn't require permission from San Francisco. EUROPA doesn't exist in isolation. It's part of a global pattern. The UAE built Falcon. France backed Mistral, which has become Europe's most prominent commercial AI company. India is investing in Hindi and regional language models. Japan and Saudi Arabia are funding domestic foundation model efforts. The common thread: governments increasingly view frontier AI as critical infrastructure, equivalent to telecommunications or energy grids. Dependence on foreign-controlled AI systems is now treated as a strategic vulnerability. What's distinctive about EUROPA is the multilateral approach: not one nation, but 27 pooling resources through EU institutions. Whether that coordination becomes a strength or a bureaucratic bottleneck remains an open question. For developers, researchers, and public sector teams across Europe, EUROPA could fundamentally change the calculus over the next 12 to 24 months. Today, a startup in Tallinn or a hospital system in Lisbon building AI applications faces a constrained choice. Use an American closed-source model with uncertain long-term access, or use smaller open-source alternatives that underperform on non-English tasks. A competitive open-source European frontier model, if it delivers on its technical promises, would offer a third path: fine-tuning for domain-specific European applications, training on European legal, medical, and administrative corpora without cross-border data transfer concerns, building on infrastructure governed by European law. That's the promise. Delivery is another matter entirely. Skepticism is warranted. Building a frontier model is extraordinarily compute-intensive and expensive. Meta spent billions training Llama 3. OpenAI's infrastructure costs are measured in tens of billions annually. The EU's total InvestAI commitment, €20 billion spread across multiple initiatives, is substantial but not unlimited. Can a consortium led by a relatively lesser-known Italian company, however capable, truly compete at the frontier? How will training data be sourced and curated across 24 languages with vastly different corpus sizes? What's the actual timeline to a production-ready model? These are not rhetorical questions. They will determine whether EUROPA becomes a genuine competitor or a well-funded symbol. Early reporting suggests initial model releases could come within 18 to 24 months, but frontier AI timelines are notoriously unreliable. Step back far enough and a structural shift becomes visible. The era of AI as a product controlled by a handful of American companies is giving way to something more fragmented and potentially more resilient. The EU's bet with EUROPA is that openness and sovereignty aren't contradictions, that a publicly funded, open-source multilingual model can serve as digital public infrastructure the way roads and power grids do in the physical world. Whether this vision survives contact with technical reality, budget constraints, and the relentless pace of American and Chinese AI development is the central uncertainty. But the decision itself, to build rather than merely regulate, marks a genuine strategic pivot for Brussels. The race for sovereign AI is no longer theoretical. It's funded, it's named, and it's underway.